this class. Make it happen. Monday, September 14th. The shorter class periods, we're going to get into our fun information for today. Wow, that's a nice reference, Caleb. I support you on that one. Well done. So then here, if you are unaware, hopefully all of your previous class periods have talked about this. I'm going to touch on it, although I'll probably touch it in a slightly different way. Everything changes on Thursday when all of a sudden schedules change, kids coming to school changes, how long your day is changes, how long you have between class period changes, everything changes it. Dylan, we're going to talk about that in a moment. That is on my list of things to talk about. So don't you sass me, child. If you are unaware, Wednesday we have a tour where you guys get to come to the school between 6 and 8 p.m. and you get to walk around and see where your classes are and sort of figure out things from there. And that is open to everybody, whether you are red or blue or even virtual. You can come in and sort of wander around and see things. Mr. Broviak, will you be there? No. I would like to be here, and it had been my plan to be here because, let me see, the opportunity to make fun of kids to their face, yeah, I'm in. But we were told that no teacher is allowed to be here on Wednesday, even if we want to be. I was like, oh, is it because kids have not been around teachers for like 6 months and we're afraid they're going to freak out being around that many teachers and all of a sudden their brains will melt? And they're like, no, it's because of coronavirus. And they're trying to have fewer people in the building. Even though Thursday, we're going to have a whole bunch of people here. I have no idea. So anyway, I will not be here on Wednesday. I don't know if they're going to keep my room open or not. If it is open, you should come in and look around because it's awesome. If it's not open, then you can I'll leave the lights on if I can. You can like look through my doorway because I have a little window and you're like, it's so cool. And you can look around inside of here and try to imagine where your seat will be because I have created a seating chart. I now know how many of you guys are going to be here and I have some idea of where you're going to be. I'm going to have like 10 kids in my classroom and then like a whole bunch of the rest of you who are going to be all virtual and it's going to be all kinds of weird. All right, let's get to the stuff for today's. Again, the other thing on the Wednesday tour, I forgot to tell you. On Wednesday, your parents are not allowed to come into the building. It is just you. So if your parents bring you, there is a force field that prevents them from coming in. You're like, zap, no, like little mimes putting their little hands up there because they can't get into the actual building. So it's only for kids to come in, no adults. I mean, I think our principal will be here, so you can't like run around and like rip things down from the walls or anything like that. But for the most part, there's not going to be a whole lot of people here. All right, and then Skyward check. So I'm going to have you button over and go look at Skyward so I can help you with that. For those of you who are the ones that turned in IXL late, I've not graded the late IXL yet because I have, 50 kids all email me going, me a big slacker. And I'm like, yeah, I'm aware you are. And so that's my goal this afternoon. I'll be sitting here grading all of those and going through them. So I will get the IXL up, but I have not done that yet. So if you're missing that, double check. I did have some kids who turned it in and you still have a 0, and that's because you didn't follow directions. And it'll say on there you didn't follow directions, which we can talk about in a moment also. So Skyward, again, logging in. For my class, even though I say this like every single day, you can turn in all late work for me, going all the way back to the very first assignment. I just want you to turn stuff in so that you don't fail. So anything I have, you can still turn it in, and that is absolutely fine with me. Not counting IXL, let's see, non-IXL assignments that people are missing. Max, you're missing the CARE homework and the fact and opinion quiz, which you can still turn in. Taylor, you are here, right? Nope, Taylor's gone. Never mind, Taylor. And that's it. Everyone else, you're just missing the IXL. Go you, by the way. Small tear of happiness. So yeah, and if you're missing the IXL, get those turned in. Oh, turning in the IXL late. If you turn in the IXL late, you cannot get a 10 out of 10. That is the drawback to you being a bit of a slacker. Now, even if you get the really good grade, let me go to it right here. Even if you get an 80 plus, you are stuck at 9 points. Unless you did the extra credit and went up to 90 thing, or the 90 plus for your SMART score, then you can get the extra credit and that gives you a 10. But for the most part, if it's late, you drop down to a 9. That is you're a slacker child. Mr. Broviak, is that the only punishment for turning it in late? Yeah, pretty much right now. The only punishment is you can still turn it in late. I just charge you the points so you don't get the perfect score. Because I completely understand right now with all the chaos and stuff like that, that if it's the least I can do to help you, I'm happy to do it. All right, IXL, covered that, covered you guys turning that in if you have questions. If you've still not done the IXL, you can. Just turn it in, and I'll be checking it this afternoon. Then email me to make sure I look for yours. And then make sure you have your name. Oh, I did have kids who tried to turn in the IXL, but it didn't have their name on it, so they wrote their name. You still get a 0. Your name has to be on the IXL page, not you writing it by hand. And again, that just goes to previous kids who have ruined that for you. So make sure you actually have your name on there. Fail, not fail. All right. I'm assuming we have no IXL questions because you're just staring at me, blinking away. Mr. Broviak, blinky, blinky. Then let's try to help you out. Yeah, I got to check that daily. You're not the only kid. Apparently, I got to figure out what's going on that. So that's not just you, but thank you for, I think you might have emailed me also. And I'll figure out what's going on that one and what happened. So I apologize. I will double check and figure out what it had issues. Technology. That's why I try not to punish you guys too much on that. All right. Here is how our new scheduling thing works. Hopefully your other teachers have talked about it. If not, then I'll at least touch on it. Whether you are red, blue, or all virtual, schedule changes on Thursday. We're going to have shorter passing periods, much longer class periods, and your day is extended. You are now not done at noon. You have actual learny school all the way until 3 o'clock. So hopefully you are prepared for that. You are also going to have a mask on all day, including the time you get on the bus. So basically starting from, for some of you guys, 7:30 until like 3:15, you are wearing a mask all day except for 2 times, which we'll talk about here in a moment. So make sure that you have a mask that is comfortable. If you've not been practicing wearing a mask for a long period of time, that is the thing you are going to want to do. You are going to want to practice wearing a mask because the masks I had turned out to not be nearly as comfortable as I thought they would be and ended up hurting my ears. So you might want to bring like a backup mask to try, or make sure it's a mask you can wear, because the one that you wear to the grocery for 20 minutes might not work for 8 hours of you sitting there breathing into it and like having your own hot air going up into your eyeballs. When are the 2 times you get a mask break? 1, at lunch. Now, the at lunch time is only while you are eating. As soon as you are done eating, they're going to be yelling at you to mask up, and whoop, make sure you put your mask back on. So you do get to have it off while you are shoving food into your cake hole. If it is not the shoving food into your cake hole moment, then you have to have a mask on. The other time you can take off your mask is when you are in a bathroom stall. Not just the bathroom, for those of you who are boy people, but the bathroom stall. If you need a mask break, you have to go in there where there's no other people around you. And then you can pull down your mask and be like, ah. The drawback is you're in the bathroom. So you might not want to breathe deeply while you're there. So it's sort of a drawback. So just keeping that part in mind to help you out. Other than that, it is nonstop masking. Teachers have to wear masks? Yeah, Bubby, I'll be wearing a mask all day. I've got like 5 different ones I'm going to rotate through, depending on how badly they hurt my ears and bother me throughout the day. And so I will be going back and forth. So figure out what works best for you, and then we'll go from that one. All right. You also, if you are unaware, are not going to have a book bag. You are going to have a book bag. You will not have a locker. So you get to see the lockers and like walk by them and go, there's my locker. You can like pet the locker and stuff like that. But they're not activating them to allow you to get in. So you can't have a locker. Book bag, you're just going to carry everything with you throughout the entire day as far as book bag goes. So keep that part in mind. So that is book baggy stuff. And so you'll be going around from class period to class period there. Lunch-wise, one day you're eating it with 4th period. The other day you're eating it with 5th period. And so Dylan, I'll come back and answer that. And so for the lunch, for us, we are going to have B lunch, which means we have class, and then we have lunch, and then we have more class. So we're going to have ours right in the middle. So we should have B lunch. 4th period, I have no idea how your lunch is going to work yet, because I don't even know how my 4th period is going to work yet. They have not told me yet. As far as why do you not get to have lockers, my guess is they don't want kids going to their lockers because kids tend to congregate and breathe on each other. So they're trying to prevent you guys being near each other as much as possible. So they're taking away lockers. Here's the other thing, in case you were unaware of it. We have these things at our school called grumpy teachers, and they like yelling at kids. And not like my yelling, where I just make fun of you because it makes me giggle, but like they get all like grumpy and yelly. And I'm fully expecting them to yell at you guys come Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, when you've not seen your friend in person since like last March, and you're like, bestie, and you go over to give them a hug. There are grumpy teachers who will yell at you and go, coronavirus, and make sure you guys separate. So keep that in mind, that you still can't be near other kids. In my classroom, I have you guys spread out where like there's no one near you. It's like you, and like 6 feet away is another desk, and that's the other kid that you're going to be sitting next to. So you're as spread out as possible. So that way you guys hopefully don't kill each other with your germs. Those of you who are virtual, you are going to be watching a Zoom class for 80 minutes, sort of like this, except I'll be walking around and performing and stuff like that, and making fun of kids live and things like that. But if you are also unaware, the class periods are longer, like the length of a Disney movie, because they're going to be 80 minutes in length. When I say Disney movie, I don't mean like Endgame, because that thing's like 4 days long. But like, you know, Bambi or Dumbo, like the old movies, those things are going to be there. Dylan, I can't stop you from taking a nap. I'll poke you with a stick and stuff like that, but you're always, I have kids all the time like, Mr. Broviak, you're boring, I'm out. I didn't try to take a nap. It's just, I'm not responsible for what happens to you while you're asleep. And to there. If you are unaware of what day you're going, if your last name is A through K, you are red. If your last name is L through Z, you are blue, whether you are red or blue group. Some of you are purple, which means you're here all week because of whatever reason it might be. And others of you are gray because you don't come at all. And so again, that's fine. And so whichever one you are, whether you are red, blue, purple, or gray, figure out what days you are coming. And so for us, we're going to be starting 17th and 18th, which is this week. So those of you who have the last name L through Z, you are going to see me in person on Friday. You will be in my room, and I will get a chance to harass you. This is going to be the bomb diggity. Those of you who have last name A through K, I get to harass you in person on Tuesday, because you won't see me on Monday either. And technically there is a purple, although you spelled purple creatively, but who cares about spelling? This is school. Technically, we have some kids who go both red and blue days, and so I call those the purple kids. All right, here is how schedule works on Thursday. This is going to be on Canvas, so you can go there to find it. Those of you who are on my Remind and get my messages I send out, I'm going to try and the night before any school day, tell you what kids are doing what. So like Wednesday night, I will send out a remind that says, if your last name is, excuse me, not burping, that should not be your last name. If your last name is a burp, that's awkward. Sorry. I'll send out an email or a remind Wednesday night saying last name L through Z, you are coming in person tomorrow. Last name A through K, you are logging on to Zoom. And I'll do that each evening so you have some idea of where you are supposed to be. Schedule-wise, you start with first period and then go first, second, fourth, sixth. Mr. Broviak, that's not our normal schedule. I know. Why'd they change it? Because they hate children and they decided to make things even more confusing. So you're going to have first, second, and then fourth, and then sixth period. And also, if you look at those times, it is not a 20-minute class period. It's not a 45-minute class period. That is an hour and a half that you're going to be in each class. Now, I know your first thought is, Mr. Broviak, having your class for an hour and a half would be the bomb. I feel the same way. The drawback is you're also going to have math for an hour and a half, and science, and social studies, and stuff like that, and PE. And for all I know, you have to run in PE, and they might make you wear a mask. And you're like, I'm going to die. And the answer is, yeah, probably. Technically, everyone dies. Life is a fatal disease. It's just that I don't know if wearing the mask and running is going to make you pass out or not. If I was a PE teacher, then yeah, but that's why I don't teach PE. I just teach English and whatever this thing is. So it gives you an idea of the order of classes. Those of you who are on virtual, same Zoom, you just log into the Zoom and you'll be watching me teach. It just, you probably won't have your camera on and the chat won't be going and stuff like that, and we'll see what we need to help you out. Friday, other schedule. So here's how Friday schedule works. Third period, best. Fifth period, seventh. So whoever you have for your seventh period teacher, you're going to have for a really long time. Third period, and then you go to best, and then fifth period, that's me, and then seventh period, and then you're done for the day. So it gives you an idea of how that schedule works. All right, and then to there, and blah, blah, blah. Monday, it goes back to the other one. I know, Caleb, I feel the same way. So blah, blah, same. Wednesdays, the thing is, even though I keep covering it over and over again, Caleb, kids are still going to have no idea what they're doing, as frustrating as that is. Because I know half of you guys have just tuned me out already, which is why I try to cover slightly different information, at least differenter than other teachers. Wednesday is where half the red kids come on one day and half the whatever kids come the other day. I don't know. This is also going to be sending out to you to help you out. So basically, throughout the normal week, those of you who have the last name A through K, you get to come the beginning of the week. Those who have the last name L through Z, you get to come at the end of the week. And then the Wednesdays switch back and forth. That's pretty much all. I just want to make sure you guys have some idea, because we were told to make sure we beat this into you today. And then tomorrow, I'll remind you, IXL. My main thing is going into tomorrow. We're going to go back to, what do you call that thing? There's words for it. Short stories. And then Thursday, Friday, when you guys are here in person, things are going to change again, because what I cover in class, we're going to take a small break from short stories and go into a different thing. All right. And if you guys have no questions, aside from just staring at me and playing with your adorable puppies, then I completely understand. That's all I have for you today. I have other learning things, but we're going to worry about learning things later. I'm not going to worry about learning things right now. I figure beating this into you and making your brains hurt is enough. I'm just looking forward to seeing some of you guys in person. Oh, good question. Are you asking, Zerosh, am I one of the yelly teachers that are going to yell at you in the hallway? No, that's not really my thing. There's other teachers who are way better at being grumpy. I'm more of making fun of you. I never really yell at kids in general. I'm not a yelly person. I am a mocking children kind of person, though, and that I have no problem with. I'll be more the gentle reminders when you guys go up and try to give your friend a hug. I'll be like, cough, cough, coronavirus, cough, cough, cooties, and try to remind you as best I can. Good question. Do you ride the bus? Yes. They are going to have buses going. So those of you coming to school, you get to ride the bus. You do have to have a mask on the entire bus ride. I had kids ask me, when does my bus come pick me up? And the answer is, I don't know. That is a solid question, because I'm not sure when the buses are going to be coming around or when they've told people. Hopefully it's on Skyward, so I'll have to go check and find that out. Zerosh, am I going to be mean in class? What you see here, how I've been teaching this whole year, is how I teach the classroom. There is very little change, except the small change will be those of you who like to talk when I talk because you get all excited, those kids, I do get to break over my kneecap and feed them to a pile of angry squirrels, because that makes me grumpy, because I love the sound of my own voice. But other than that, this is as mean as I get. I'm not super mean, except when you guys try to talk over me. But we'll get to that coming up. So yeah, that's about as far as I go. Oh man, time's over. All right, that's all I have. I'll see you guys. Wow, that's a large dog. Later. Chloe, I didn't mean to give kids anxiety. You didn't know that people die? I'm sorry. So there. See you later. Toot to my boots. Ya da 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 da. Sing the yata song. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ah! And boo! Whoop!